Hello and welcome back once again. As you've seen from the video title, I've been playing around making pens, just experimenting, tinkering, whatever you like to call it. I bought a box of these. There we go, I think you can see them there, yeah. And sort of what I've been making, trying to make. Now that was a piece of one-piece wood, which came out quite nicely actually. And then I experimented yet again, and we went to a two-piece. There we go, that's better. So you've got those two are both the same piece of wood and then just a piece in the middle. And I've been playing around with that, but then I got to thinking a little bit more. Why not just do it out of two pieces? Two contrasting pieces, I should say, also. So I think, yeah, focus. I think this is a piece of cherry or something very similar. And this is a piece of, well, be back in a minute. And then we've got a piece of, one of my favourite bits of wood at the moment is a piece of blackthorn. So I'm going to try and do something similar to that, a bit straighter, but that. And that's what I'm intending to try and show you, my little method. I thought I'd bring you along to show you what I've done and see what you think to it. So let's get to the lathe and start making some sawdust, shall we? There's our four pieces. I've already rounded, but I've rounded them all down. They are 13, roughly 12.5, 13 mil, or somewhere between 12 and 13, I think is probably the more like the honest truth. But that's what we've got. And the only way I can hold those kind of diameters, and that's why I partly made them that diameter, is because I'm going to use my collet. So we'll put that in. .13 is the biggest that these go to. These, well, this is an ER20, I think it is. So that's why they've all gone down to there. So we'll start with a bottom piece, I think, and we need to make them all the same length. Actually, I think we'll do that in first. That's slightly better. So. Ooh. These, I worked them out to be, they need to be cut at 54 millimeters long. I'll just mark where 54 is going to be. That's that one cleaned up to 54 mil overall length. So we need to spot this one. So then we've got a 5 mil by 32. This one's 50 mil. I don't know whether I said actually, could be wrong, but that was a 3.2 drill. So with that like that, then you can turn it round, centre drill it again, drill it with a little 2.5mm drill through into the other drillings from the other side. There we go. Right. Within reason, the lengths, you know, millimetre, possibly a bit more than that, but I've tried to keep them within about a mil each of their required size, let's call it. So there we go. This is where you then get to choose which way you want your grain to go. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go, this end is now going to be the back. Right, and again we're going to go use the 5mm drill, but this time we're aiming for, I don't know, about halfway through the length, because we're going to drill it from the other side as well as. So we'll repeat the process. There we go, that's through. And what I did actually do is just make myself a little board to stick all my drills into, just so I knew exactly what drill size I'd got and where it was. On this one, it's got a little bit of grain and it's all going. So I think what I'm going to do is, that's going to be the back and that will be the middle. It'll make a little bit more sense in a minute, bear with me. What we need to do now is put a thread in here. And I'm just going to do it like this. I will actually just zoom out so you can see what you can see now. It's just an engineer's centre in the chuck in the back of a tap wrench, and then just slowly advance it in. What I have found is some woods tap really well and others are just horrible. Things like sapele and mahogany, they just seem to crumble. Just take your time. Right, so for the glue up, obviously that's the nib end, middle, and then we've got the thread here. So I'm going to apply some glue, sort of line it up a bit maybe. But what I found is if I put that in there, apply a little bit of wood glue. Oh, welcome there. Okay. And then just a few. Oh, a bit more than I meant it to be, but never mind. So our thread is there, and I've just got a 3D printed bit of stick which just goes in there. And then you can twist that out. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute or two. But that does go into some clamps. Right, that's them. I just clamped them up. I've actually left them 24 hours, but with the super glue and everything else, you could actually leave them 2 or 3 hours, I would have thought, and turn them quite happily. So there we go. We will turn one of these. I think we'll do that one first. This is one bonus, I suppose you could call it, of the fact that it's now being done off centres. So even if any of these holes within reason have wandered, it isn't going to make too much of a difference. So that's what I found anyway. Oh. Now, what, as you can see, you can shape this any shape you like. Please yourself. I've just got it down to a rough round. I've found I quite like this undercut a little bit, but please yourself. You can do them whatever you like. So I'm just going to carry on shaping that a little bit more, I think. One thing I will say is this nib end, you do obviously want it down to a reasonable point, but you can just see there isn't a great deal of room down the side of this once you start coming in on the angle. I think I might have even pulled this drill in back just fractionally, but you have to be a bit careful, and I have had quite a few failures obviously, but I just thought you'd like to see that detail a bit more. I am just going to sand this all up. I quite like this raised area here, relieved under here, and then raised again here. I've done it on a few of the other ones, but because it's a piece of wood, you can do any shape within reason that you like. So I'm going to get this sanded up. There we go, all sanded up to 400 grit. I'm just going to do a coat of sand and sealer and then go straight to Carnauba wax. But again, you can do whatever finish you choose. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even go the whole hog and melamine wax like I did in my first pen video, but because it's wood, it's all personal taste. Carnauba wax is just, I like it, but sometimes just can't quite get it fully right. Right, so let's just move over to the bench and I can show you the final stages. So we've come to final assembly. Now this is the bit that I think some people will just go, yeah, that's not a bad idea, and some will go, I hate that. That's their choice, but there you go. So you have your which you then just push through, and obviously you've got a thread, and I 3D printed 6mm plugs, threaded plugs. Now I've just done slightly different lengths on all of these just to allow, so you've got 4, 5, 6 and 7. So all you do is you are, alright, there we go, just screwing that into there, and the final test is obviously just with a piece of paper. See, now that's just pushed back a little bit, so I'm sure you could probably measure these a bit better, but I'm just trying to give you an idea. And we'll try a 5. There we go, 5. Yeah, that doesn't move, and it writes nicely. So there you go. Like I say, some people are going to like this, some people are going to hate it, but I quite like it. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Right, we have got to the end of that one. I'm afraid this one is going to be a little bit on the long side, but I just tried to give you as much information if you ever fancied having a go yourself. But there is the we're going to focus, come on. That's that one. And then the other one, which was the opposite, is there. Hopefully you can still see that. Trying to get the camera to focus. There we go. So I've enjoyed doing these. These have been a bit of a battle at times, admittedly, but I've enjoyed this. There is actually a spreadsheet that I did. If anybody is interested in having a go, all you got to do is drop me an email, which is on my YouTube page. But yeah, these have been a bit of fun. It's a bit of wood, and not a great deal of wood to use either. So yeah, it's good fun. I know I keep saying it, but it has been great fun. Give me a like if you think I've earned it, and a subscription would be well welcome. But all in all, I have enjoyed this, and all being well, I shall see you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching.